Hello? Right, hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's it going? All good? How's it going, Muppet? Slight stream delay on here. I'm not sure if you can hear the game. Can you all hear the game? Have a beer and doing some... What you cooking? What you making? Do custom weather, traffic off, live players off. Duck pancakes. Very nice. A little bit of soy sauce as well with them, or? Where should I fly from? Fly from Newcastle. I mean, it's not that interesting. Let's change the time of day first then. So at midday and it doesn't get any brighter. Lovely miserable day in Newcastle. Let's fly then. Newcastle, Sydney. Oh. Evening, Vin. How's it going? What are you up to? Like I say, today I'm going to be doing a Q&A as well as playing games. Flight Sim is quite a slow-moving game anyway, so it's quite an easy one to play it to, as well as speak to yourselves. So, Q&A about my gaming history, anything gaming related, that about me, what I've done, what I've owned, what I've played, favourite games, anything like that, what got us started, you name it. Get asking, can I drink and fly? I mean, digitally you can. I wouldn't recommend it in real life. Probably not the best of advice to drink and fly in real life. This will also be the first time I've tried to stream Flight Sim. First ever console. So the first console I owned personally was probably I think the first console I owned was a handheld, which was the original Game Boy, brand new. That was the first console I owned. Obviously the big brick one. Let's turn this volume down. The big grey brick that everyone loves to know. First home console was the PlayStation 1. Before that I used to play on my uncle's Sega Mega Drives and Super Nintendos and things like that, but originally my gaming history started on PC gamer. Good evening, Turk. How's it going? Let's change the weather. There we go, bit better. Hello. Favourite console so far? Oh, that's a difficult one. I've probably spent the most time in my life. The most time in my life was probably spent on the 360. Yeah, the Xbox 360 is probably my favourite of all time, after the PlayStation 1. I spent a lot of time on PlayStation 1 on Crash Bandicoot, Final Fantasies, all of them. Like, I didn't play the Final Fantasies when they were out on the Nintendo originally. I started playing the Final Fantasies on the PlayStation 1. And you might not have remembered, but they started bringing out kind of the first backwards compatible conversions for the PlayStation 1 of the original Final Fantasy 1 to 6 over to the PlayStation 1. So I had them as well. And I've still got them actually on CD. in a folder with all the Final Fantasies, all the way up to Final Fantasy 9. What's up, Toolman? How's it going, brother? What's up, Marion? What's up? Massive RPG fan. Huge RPG fan. Like, the reason I don't play, or I even tried to play Skyrim again the other day, and then I turned it on. And I was on Skyrim. Obviously, JRPG is the original one, but any RPG really. But when I went on to Skyrim the other day, and then I realised just how much time I put into the first time I played it, and I probably 300 plus hours. And I just don't think I've got the energy for that. But massive RPG fan. Like, Final Fantasy is my favourite kind of series out of the lot. CSGO. Skies of Arcadia isn't actually one that I've played. I'd never had the likes of... Well, I didn't have the Dreamcast. I didn't have any of the Sega consoles myself. So I never had the opportunity to play that. My RPG kind of gameplay all started with the PlayStation. And when I think Final Fantasy 9 was the one that really kind of turned me, because I think I preferred this story. I mean, I'd already by that point completed Final Fantasy 7 a couple of times, so Final Fantasy 9 really took the biscuit for me. Favorite Xbox exclusive? See, that's a tough one, because Halo got me to come to Xbox in the first place, because when the original Xbox came out, I was still quite young. But they had that in a shop over here called Curry's PC World. Back then it was just Curry's. And before they had the whole PC World thing in, and they started to get the Xbox in for the first time on big show stands. And obviously the big controllers, and that was the first time feeling, because I was used to force feedback joysticks and things on the PC, but that was the first time I felt an actual game controller like that on the on an actual home console. So that was a bit different. But Halo just absolutely blew me away. And of course then we had so Halo is probably the one that I love the most. It's most nostalgic. In terms of favourite exclusive, I don't have a favourite Xbox exclusive per se, because I've got really fond memories of playing Gears of War with friends, playing through the Halo campaign with friends, like when it first came out, both like in split screen and couch co-op and all of that stuff. So it's probably a close tie between Gears and Halo for nostalgia purposes. Forza because I love racing games, but Forza Horizon because I love the open world concept of racing games. What game do I think should get the remaster treatment? 'Cause, 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 'cause So that's quite a tough one, because as much as I like original games, sometimes when they get remastered, it loses the nostalgia from the original one. Such is my thoughts and feelings on Final Fantasy Remake. As much as I love that, if I was going to keep completely nostalgic, then I would be wanting them to keep the JRPG turn-based, but then it wouldn't do so well because people wouldn't like turn-based gameplay. So kind of catch-22. Going back to OG PC though, I'd love to see a new Monkey Island or the original trilogy kind of remastered. I'd love to see the Blade Runner game. It was like a point-and-click detective game on PC. I'd love to see that remastered. Dead Space, yeah, completely agree. Dead Space to get a nice remaster as well, that would be awesome. Literally don't touch the game itself, just give it a fresh lick of paint. 60 frames, high res, add some fancy lighting system in there, but don't touch the mechanics, don't touch the story, don't touch anything like that. Just fresh lick of paint, some nice lighting, much better. If there was, well, that's an easy one, Marion. If I could get one exclusive from PlayStation onto Xbox, it would be God of War. 100% God of War. More people need to experience that game, just for its story alone. PlayStation have got their versions of Tomb Raider and Uncharted. We've both got our versions of racing games in Forza and Gran Turismo. There's so many open world games, so I don't feel like a Days Gone or Horizon would be that bothered. So it's like the likes of The Last of Us and God of War. I think they're the only two I'd ever bring over. It is awful. I mean, yeah, Destruction Derby. What was the other game though? There was a game very similar to that back in the day. A bit like Destruction Derby, but it was like just like Mad Max type of cars. I've forgotten the name of it now. Muppet, you might be able to enlighten me. I'd love to see one of them again. Yes, no, yes, yeah, Twisted Metal. That's the one, Vin. I'd love another Twisted Metal. Love another Twisted Metal. That game was so fun. There was also a game that I used to play as well that was on PC that I loved, and that was Motocross Madness. It was like an open world motocross game where you could just build and do anything. Alright, let's change the scenery, I think. I don't think I ever played Full Auto Vin. Was that very similar, was it? Hong Kong. Speedball on the PC was like a violent amateur foot. No, but there's been lots of spin-offs of that kind of game recently, though, hasn't there? Favorite game developer? Oh, that's a toughie. That's a toughie. But I'd have to say overall Square Enix. Again, they make that my favourite franchise. Final Fantasy, they've also came out with some absolutely amazing kind of games, and obviously they've had Just Causes, they've had an abundance of kind of different games, Deus Ex, everything. They've done quite a bit of everything. And again, they've brought out kind of Bravely Default and Final Fantasy Tactics, and you name it, they've kind of just done. They've done everything, even on Switch. Obviously, Octopath Traveler. That's my favourite game on Switch by a long mile. And again, another exclusive for Nintendo, but an awesome game by Square Enix. Of course, when I first started playing, it wasn't called Square Enix. When they first released these games, they were Squaresoft, not Square Enix, as you all might know. No, this is Flight Simulator run on the PC, with 32 gig of RAM, a GTX 1060, quite old, an i7 8th gen, DDR4. It is 2770 megahertz for each. This is on PC. I wish it was running on Series X, Jesus, but I am using the Series 2 Elite. And I'm not even running this game at full everything. Hello, Fun Speculation. How's it going, brother? Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the game on Xbox. I think the additional, because my PC isn't the best, I've literally like added additional RAM because I only had 8 gig of RAM originally, so I've boosted that up to 32 gigs, and that has made the world of difference for this game. But even then, you can see it's a bit stuttery. But the game doesn't need to run at 60 frames. The game runs really well at 30 frames. Yes, you're playing some Fortnite with Forky. Am I right, Fork Boy? A little Fortnite tournament. Let's increase the throttle. Release the brakes. There we go. This is the first time I've ever flown from Hong Kong, so might have a little bit of stutteriness originally. Gears up. Check the weather. Turn live weather off. We'll do some clear skies. Ooh, console or controller mod production. That's quite easy. That's very easy to answer. I'm going to take off the, let's do a mid-flight pause here, shall we? There we go, active pause. So I'm just going to spin the camera around here. Favourite mod production has to be the Gears of War console, which is plugged into my monitor. %. That took a lot of time doing, and I think seeing the new design with Sean Labrie that we're going to do for Hellblade 2 is going to be awesome when we're getting that sorted. Obviously, it's naturally going to take a little bit of time to get everything sorted, but Sean's working on that design for me at the moment, and then I'll be putting that design into physical form, so I'm looking forward to getting that done. Oh, 100%. 100% Mav. Flight Sim is an absolute tank on PCs. But it was... Flight Sims have always been tanks for PCs. Like, it comes out well before any PC can really run it properly. But it's meant to be that way because it's meant to last a long time. Like, it was probably more than a decade since the last time we've had a flight sim. Hello, Pat. How's it going? So it's going to be some time until, I mean, you probably, because obviously now we know dual GPUs are pretty much getting phased out, which is why they've increased the RAM on the new GPUs to like 20 gig RAM and 12 gig RAM, GDDR6 on a 3090 and things like that. Instead of having two dual GPUs that really just don't do any benefit. I'm also quite pleasantly surprised how what this live game is working so well as streaming. To be honest, it's a lot of data being transferred in here, but I've still got a stream bitrate of 30,000 kilobits, and the recommended is only 4,500, so I'm well above that. So I won't just be playing Flight Sim for the full duration of this. Obviously, if you've got any other games you want to see me play, then I'll try and jump on them. I'll probably jump on to Killer Instinct after this as well. Oh God, I know. I've got 500 meg broadband, which is not as good as the likes of Pat, etc. with a gig broadband, but 500 meg seems to do the trick. Take off from Japan. Whereabouts in Japan? Tokyo. See, they've got 1 gig internet over here. It's just not my area yet. So as soon as it comes back to my area, I'll be upgrading to it. But it's not here just yet. Down in London, they've got 1 gig internet, and I think there's 7 places in the UK with 1 gig so far. There's no such thing. She won't be complaining when you're all streaming 4K movies in every house and playing games and no one's lagging. Ugh, Vin, you're a dirty roach. I don't need to come to no Feyenoord's side. I was just saying that, just speaking about stream health. Perfectly fine, perfectly fine, perfectly fine, perfectly fine. Error, YouTube not receiving enough video. Erwinski. Not bad, mate. Yourself? I become a full-fledged Viking about 4 years ago. No, it was only a few years ago when I started being an ambassador for a couple of different companies, more related to the beard. So the first was North London. The next was Grimfrost, who are the people behind the History Channel show Vikings. So that's when I kind of upheld the whole beard tradition. More Van Gaal. Erwin, you speak more Van Gaal than Erwin. Vin, sorry, you speak more Van Gaal than Erwin. 100%. I do. My chin is here, if you can see that. The rest is beard. Yeah, I've got Chuck Norris hidden under here for emergencies. Patron -1. Yes, I've made sprayed a pair of. I'll just go and get them whilst this is loading. Sprayed a pair of Razer headphones as well to match the gears. So I don't know whether or not you could see them. You can kind of see there that it's quite hard to tell actually. Going with like a black and red kind of design on the headphones there to match the console. There's only 2 patrons so far for Midweek Mix-Up. Two early adopters. One of them is Vin, the other is one of our awesome supporters from Australia. Vin. You will never stop. You're an awesome supporter. Right, last flight, and then I'm going to put Killer Instinct on. There we go, now he's climbing again. Yo, Voltage FC, how's it going, brother? How's it going? Q&A today, whilst I'm playing some games. So ask away, anything to do with, yeah, some frames per second drops, yeah. Getting some data drops. I was quite surprised it's lasted this long, to be honest, without any data drops. Especially Flight Sim. Streaming it and streaming this. Yeah, 100% more data than hardware. It's a very hungry game. Very hungry game. Although I would say you can't run the game efficiently on anything with 8 gig of RAM. You would have to have at least 12 to 16 gig of RAM and new RAM to run it at any nice. Yeah, I've still got Sea of Thieves. I haven't played it for a while. Last time I played it was with Xbox Mick, and we found the, what is it, that white shark that everyone keeps going against? I've already killed that. The Shrouded Ghost. Found that, killed it. That was the last time I played. Yeah, I think the progress we've had getting to 615 subs so far has been unbelievable, especially in the short amount of time. And I think 1,000 isn't a stretch at all in 2021. We've got quite a few months to go in 2021, so I'm fully expecting myself and the rest of the guys to hit that mark before the end of the year, if not just after halfway point. Of course, we're going to have to do a lot to get to that point, so all we can just do is keep producing awesome content, having fun, and getting some awesome guests on, and I think we'll achieve that 1,000 mark before we know it. Yeah, found the Shrouded Ghost and killed it. First time I'd been on since I'd played just after Alpha. Thanks, Mav, appreciate it. Obviously, it wouldn't be possible without all of you guys kind of jumping in, and my moderators, and all the panel members. So it's down to you guys. We are where we are. So thank you very much for everything. And again, we'll just keep going from strength to strength. Yes, I'll get a PS5 when it eventually comes in stock at some point. I will get in the I'll be getting the digital version still, and I'll be getting it. I always said I wouldn't get it until there was a game that I wanted on that specifically, and Ratchet and Clank was one of them. Of course, they've announced that's coming in the middle of the year, so fingers crossed that's when stock starts to perk back up a bit, and I'll pick a PlayStation 5 up middle of the year with Ratchet and Clank. And hopefully by then we'll have some more games for it as well. God of War's my other one that I wanted for it. Of course, back compatible helps already, but a lot of them games, once you've played them, you don't really want to play again. Such as the original God of War. I've tried playing that one again from start, and I couldn't really get back into it, but I love the game. So I wouldn't go and play it through it again because I've already beat it and platinumed it. Favourite drink? Alcoholic or non-alcoholic? Right. Yeah, our backlog on the PlayStation 4 is massive. Massive, massive. Provided you with enough games to last you until next decade. Both. Favourite alcoholic is... we'll do this a little bit differently. Favourite normal alcoholic drink is Guinness. Favourite strong alcoholic drink is a rum called Old J. Favourite normal drinks are coffees, normally lattes, milk, and apple juice. Hey, four guys with quarters, how's it going? Let's jump off this one for a minute. We've got our stream quality back. Yeah, I can't wait, Mav, to be able to just walk in and grab a PlayStation. I mean, that's going to be hard enough as it is, though, isn't it? Good evening, all. Good evening, all. You have us in your pocket while you work. Okay, don't know how to take that one. I haven't thrown axes yet, actually, clowns, but I am planning on going to do axe throwing. Let's do a performance test before we go here. See how it goes. The interviews I'm going to be doing with all of the different creators are going to be one-on-one, pre-recorded, so myself and the creator can just relax, just basically have a one-on-one chat. I'll ask them some set questions, and then we'll just dig deeper into some of them questions and just have a nice relaxing interview. And then it'll be posted following that. Once I've done just went over it, added a few bits and bobs. If they talk about specific games and things, then I'll do overlays of those games. So yeah, I hope you like it. So, yes, Patreons will have early access to the interviews before they go to everybody else. That's the joy of being Patreons. See you in a bit, Erwin. I'll jump on for some gaming in a bit. After this one, I'll be doing a stream where I game with a few other pals. So if everybody wants to join, then feel free. Anybody else watching the stream? It's a Q&A, so fire some questions my way. Let's see what you all got. I am 32. I'm a young whippersnapper, as some of them in the gaming community class me. You just can't jump over him. He's massive. Can't do crossovers. General Ram is too big for a crossover. Yes, yeah, a lot of people are older than me. I'm like a happy medium in the group. Actually, I'm probably one of the youngest of the podcast group, come to think of it. I think everybody's slightly older than me. No problem, Muppet. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for the questions. Been awesome. Anybody else, if you want to jump in and ask some questions, get to know me a bit better? Mijn Nederlands is niet zo goed. Spreek een beetje Engels. Smashed. Thanks, Marion. Do I love you? Yeah, brother. I love you. Peace. Yeah, I've always got plans for future giveaways. One of them was going to be at the beginning of the year, but due to stock being low, that's not going to happen. And of course, I need lots of this, and we're in a pandemic. But in the future, when the channel picks up a little bit, we will be doing a console giveaway when they're a bit more readily available. Of course, that can be a custom console giveaway. It can just be a stock console giveaway. We'll be doing something like that. Of course, game-wise, yes, I also want to do a giveaway there as well. A game I'm most excited for. Oof, that's a good one. I'm going to eventually get Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart on PlayStation 5. I'm excited for that. Hellblade 2, unbelievably excited for that. Halo Infinite, excited for that. New God of War. Can't wait for Crossfire actually as well to see what they've done with the campaign. I loved Quantum Break's campaign, so looking forward to seeing that as well. See you all later. I'm still here. Enjoy your food, Pat. See you soon. If I was going to do some giveaways on the channel, what would everybody love to see? What kind of giveaways? One thing I'm always interested to see is how to be the most fair on giveaways as well. It's quite easy. It's quite hard to balance fairness. Oh, a little shit. I think he's had enough of us now. TJ combo. Best story. Ooh, that's hard. Because there's quite a few games with awesome stories. I loved God of War's story front to back. I loved The Medium most recently. I thought the story in The Medium was actually really good. But I love the original Final Fantasies as well. I love Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 7, 9 and 15. I love the stories there. Say I'm not a fan of the original Assassin's Creeds, but I am a fan of the more modern ones and the most recent, Valhalla. I loved it. So Valhalla, to me, was the best one that I've played. And I loved it a little bit more than Odyssey, which I also loved. Yeah, it's hard to really get to grips with the gameplay on 15, and I can understand why people don't like it. But story-wise, I love the story. Oh, she's going in on us. Woo! Got you, you little shit. Ah! Oh, shit. Woo. That was a close one. Best new IP this gen. Do you mean last gen or this gen? Yeah, exactly. Of course, I would love Valhalla. Oh, including PS4 and Xbox One. Best new IP. Best new IP for PlayStation. I would probably say Horizon. Horizon Zero Dawn. Best new IP for Xbox. See, this is the problem because they've discontinued so many IPs that they should have went with. Rise was one of them. The Medium's got great chance, but I don't know whether or not that's an exclusive IP. I loved Recore as well. I think that was an awesome IP, and I think they really should have pushed on with that, made that a bit more triple A level. But I think I would probably say Forza Horizon's probably the best the new racing IP for Xbox. Obviously, you can't discount Sea of Thieves, etc. as well because they're doing it unbelievably. We'll see. We'll see whether or not it's true. We'll have to wait and see. I hope it's true as well. So I started, a little bit of background on me. I started gaming back when I was younger with my father, playing mainly on PC. So PC was my original gaming home.